So yeah, I'm going to sort of talk a lot about our work. I mean, excuse me, I've got a cold, so I'm going to do lots of playing films and stuff and show some of our work. But I think in a way, I always think of Cybersonica a lot more about programming and a lot more the development side. And in a way, I always say to Lewis, I'm a little bit of a fish out of the water on that because I come from more of a graphic background and a photography background, and I'm always more concerned about the aesthetic more than the actual processing that goes into something. I mean, we started about 12 years ago, and really, as I say, my background was really graphic design, and I used to design record sleeves and sort of sometimes some quite bad record sleeves as well for bad artists. And I think what's interesting in going back in time is like when you do things that you do your best at something that's not actually very creative, you actually seize the opportunity of creativity, and that's really, I think, if I look back now on my past, I'm quite happy where I am now because I do things, I sort of do things as a personal project, and then we try and make commercial access outside that. So probably a good 70% of our work is like personal projects, and from that we develop commercial projects, and probably out of the commercial projects, probably only 5% pays good money. So. And they come up occasionally, and you just never know where they pop up from, really. So I mean, I think the thing we're known for mostly is VJing and stuff. And although, in a way, we will see that as a bit of a bad word, we did make a book, and I'll pass this round. And it's really more about audiovisual culture. It's more about sound reacting to video, and video and vice versa. So if I just pass that, so people can look at it if you want to have a look at it. I'm just going to play a performance we did with Scanner from Electra Festival. That's probably a good way to start the thing off, really. It always starts really loud, so I'm going to turn this... Oh, it's going to start quiet there. This is working with... in the ground, below the bottom there, we're working with 35mm slides, and we were using DVJs, and we were using a modulator as well. But I was just saying earlier about technology. Almost every time I do a gig, something goes wrong with my laptop, playback on the video's wrong or something. It's almost guaranteed, really. Actually, I'm happy to have this light off, actually, because I think it leads onto the screen. Or twisted round, one of them. Is that better? You've done quite a lot of things with Scanner. We've worked with this classical ensemble, and Italian classical ensemble, and we've played quite a few gigs with him, different combinations. So, and I think I'm going to show you now really one of our first projects which we did, and this is probably about 2003, and this was a DVD called Detonate, which you've got here. This is really when DVDs didn't really exist, you know, they were just coming out, but we were quite interested in technology, and we were always quite interested in sort of finding ways of technology, of just using it in different ways, and just sort of like exploiting that technology. And some of the things with the DVD which we found out about was things like the subtitles on films, where you could actually, there are a series of TIFF sequences, and you can use, I can't remember, they're bitmapped, but you can actually designate colours to transparencies, and they're usually just, but basically you can make short animations out of them. So we were working with the idea of actually placing animations on top of videos, and also we were working on the idea of different angles and different angle options, and we were working on a way of actually randomizing the angles, so you could actually, using your remote control, you could literally press a button, the angle button, and it would go down to one of the 4 video streams, and you could actually then change the video. So effectively, in theory, well, in practice as well, depending on your DVD player, you could actually control the video the way you wanted it to, with subtitles, alternative audios, and sub-pictures, angle options. So, and for us, it was like a nice way of actually collecting we had a few films made, and we liked the idea of collecting them all together, working with international musicians that we sort of really liked. We just sort of approached them all, and it was very much of the idea we gave them sort of short clips of video, and they gave us audio back, and then we worked backwards and forwards. So it was like an ongoing process to produce some tracks. I mean, that happened for about 50%, 60% of the projects. Lots of people were, as always, too busy, so ended up just giving us tracks. But I'm going to play you, I'll play you Indica first. That's one of the first ones we made. And this is really when, yeah, it's interesting how technology has really moved along in terms of how long things take to render and build. This took months to render, actually, but now it's like you can do it all in HD 10 times as quick.